What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here. In today's video, we're going to check out some more spicy battles with Alolan Sandslash, Legacy Shadow Gyarados there with Dragon Tail and Aqua Tail, and Triple Legacy Seeking. Now, this team really surprised me. It did incredibly well, and that's due to a couple things. First, the safe swap of Triple Legacy Seeking is incredibly strong, especially with an Alolan Sandslash lead, because Alolan Sandslash and Seeking have very similar coverages, especially when I lose lead. They don't necessarily have an answer for it in the back, which is awesome. And Dragon Tail Gyarados here, Shadow Dragon Tail Gyarados, is so deadly. You're going to see it put in a lot of work today. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team in these battles, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, getting into this first battle here, we have Alolan Sandslash versus Melmetal on the lead. This is obviously a terrible matchup, and Melmetal does well against our whole team, but what's great about the Seeking safe swap is, again, they don't necessarily have a good answer in the back. I've seen this time and time again. Because of the pairing of Alolan Sandslash, the Seeking safe swap means they don't have the best answer. So we're going to go ahead and just go for Icy Winds here. And what's great as well is we don't necessarily have to win this matchup. We're going to go ahead and shield this first one. But what I want to try to do is put this into a 1-to-1 shield situation, because Gyarados in the back also does not do well against Melmetal. So I'm going to need them to not have a shield, which we do right there. That way the Gyarados' Aqua Tails can do a lot of neutral damage. So we'll have to see how this plays out. We're going to go ahead and no shield this, and then look to go for one more Icy Wind and hope that we can actually get the final shield. But I decide instead to swap into Alolan Sandslash because I want them to come back in with that Melmetal. I have a Drill Run loaded on the Seeking, and if I can draw out the Melmetal, I can keep it away from Gyarados as well. If they don't, I can farm down and have absolutely a ton of loaded energy. So we are seeing the Whiscash now come in, so I'm going to go ahead and go for these Ice Punches right here. We get a shield as well, which I'm surprised they shield on the Whiscash. I was expecting them to save it for the Melmetal, but this is fine with me. We're looking very, very strong right here. So what we're going to do is do as many Ice Punches as we can and just let this Alolan Sandslash go down. I can safely bring in my Shadow Gyarados right here and basically farm down the Whiscash. Maybe go for one Aqua Tail, and again I have a Drill Run loaded on the Seeking, so if they swap, which they do right here, I can swap now into my Seeking to catch the charge move. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to shield. A Rock Slide or Superpower would take us out, but now I have a Drill Run, and this is going to do a lot of super effective damage. Again, why Seeking is so strong in this meta. Now, hopefully we can farm down in time, otherwise they're going to have to throw their energy right here, which they do. This means that they don't have enough to throw a charge move versus the Gyarados, and considering that Whiscash already threw a Mud Bomb versus our Alolan Sandslash, I don't think it's going to have enough energy to get a Blizzard off in time. You guys are going to see how much damage this Gyarados can do. It absolutely shreds in today's video. So yeah, it just does a lot. Dragon Tails as well really add up. They do get to another charge move though, and I was questioning this might be a Blizzard, but they definitely didn't have enough energy. It's just going to be a Mud Bomb, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move into this next one. I had a lot of lead losses today, but what's great is the Seeking safe swap. So again, lead loss right here, we go straight into Seeking, and my opponent hesitates right here. They don't swap out because Seeking counters what they have in the back, which is great, which also means Alolan Sandslash can do well against them as well. We're going to go ahead and just go for Icy Winds right here for that neutral damage and the debuff. We do see them swap into another Mandibuzz. This is beautiful right here, so we're just going to keep going for Icy Winds. I'm going to debate potentially flipping this mid-game matchup, but we'll have to see what they do because our switch clocks are definitely completely out of sync right now. I can safely swap back into Alolan Sandslash potentially. So I believe I decide to let this go. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let the foul play go through, and then we're going to try to get to one more Icy Wind right here, which we do. Now, this is where I debate swapping back into Alolan Sandslash because I can get ahead on energy. So we'll have to see, but you know what, they let that go through, so I'm going to go ahead and actually let my Seeking code go down and come back in and farm with Alolan Sandslash right here to get quite a bit of energy. It's only going to be a couple Powder Snows, but it definitely helps out. Now, we're going to swap into Shadow Gyarados right away, and we will see them swap into Frostlass. This is where Shadow Gyarados goes to town, everyone. Look at how much damage Dragon Tail is doing. On top of that, the Aqua Tails can be spammed very quickly, so we will be getting shields from this Frostlass, and if an Aqua Tail lands, it's going to take it out. It just does so much damage. So here comes that first Aqua Tail right here. We do get a shield, which is great. We're going to go ahead and throw the second one, force that second shield, force their hand, and then look to commit to the farm down because Dragon Tail is going to do enough damage. So we do get the second shield, which is beautiful. Now I can fully commit to the farm down. I know they can't get to another avalanche in time as long as I shield, and I'm going to be able to put a lot of damage on with Aqua Tail and Dragon Tail. Versus this Whiscash, and the Whiscash cannot farm me down as well because we are part flying typing. Those mud shots will not be able to farm us down. So here comes the Aqua Tail. The Whiscash is low. They have to throw energy, and this mud bomb will not be enough. So what I need to do right now, and what you guys should always try to do in these situations, is swap right away. Even though this is a bad matchup and mud bomb does do super effective damage, it's not enough to one-shot my Alolan Sandslash. So we can easily survive and get to an Ice Punch right here, which having that extra energy from farming down Mandibuzz earlier on in the match really helps out in order to close this game out well for us. So that is going to be a good game, very well played to my opponent. All right. Moving into this next battle, we have Sandslash on the lead versus Mandibuzz. Very positive matchup for us, so we'll have to see what they have in the back. But let's see what happens. Mandibuzz is deciding to swap out, and we do see a Registeel come in, so we're going to go ahead and come in with the Seaking right here. This is a pretty decent matchup, specifically because Flash Cannon is resisted, so we're going to go ahead and no shield, thinking it's going to be a bait, but they did go for the Focus Blast for neutral. That's okay still. Lock-on is not going to be able to take us down quick enough in time for all these drill runs to be coming through. And drill run does do super effective damage. So as you can see, the lock-ons aren't doing too much right here, so we should be able to get to another one in time, which we do. If they decide to shield, I think I might go ahead and shield myself. So we do see a shield right there, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and shield. This is going to be a Flash Cannon, I know it, but I can't safely come in and farm down with anything because everything is going to be resisted, right? Powder Snow and Dragon Tail because of that steel typing. So I got to try to risk it and go for the drill run, but they do a great swap into a Diggersby actually. So I wasn't able to get the Icy Wind off, but this drill run is still going to be doing a lot, and I'm going to go ahead and now come in with the Gyarados right here. The big concern in this matchup is Hyper Beam. When you face off against a Diggersby, they typically run with Fire Punches and Earthquake, both of which is resisted, but Hyper Beam is the thing to fear, and we let it go, and thankfully, it's just going to be a Fire Punch. So we're going to go ahead and build up to 2 Aqua Tails. This was a bit quick for a Hyper Beam after throwing the Fire Punch, so we're going to let it go. It is just going to be another Fire Punch. Now that we have 2 Aqua Tails, we're going to go ahead and throw just to get this Diggersby out of there. That way we have enough health still on the Gyarados here, plus energy for the Mandibuzz and the Registeel. So this is where things are going to get kind of tricky. Mandibuzz can load up on a lot of energy right here because Dragon Tail and Aqua Tail aren't doing too much damage. So what I don't want them to do is overload, and I want to try to save the Gyarados to close this game out. So what we're going to do is we're going to trust the Force right here, and we're going to swap into Seaking, and we actually catch the charge move. This was not on the foul play or whatever, basically timing how much energy it takes to get to the move. This was just a feel swap, and we got it, which is beautiful. This means we can come in with a Alolan Sandslash and farm down. And they decide to swap into Registeel, which is fine because I can throw this Bulldoze right here since I was ahead on energy. Take out the Registeel, and then the Mandibuzz is going to come back in, and that's going to be a good game, very well played. We don't even need to shield right here. Alolan Sandslash can tank a few foul plays, and we still have the Gyarados in the back as well. So that's a good game to my opponent. But we had some very good answers for their Pokemon. On top of that, catching that foul play was very nice, especially on a sack swap with basically a no energy, low health Seaking. That's why I like keeping them around. All right, moving into this next battle. We have Sandslash on the lead versus Poliwrath. All right, another terrible matchup. We're going to go straight into the Seaking right here. And what's great is if they're running a typical moveset of Scald and Ice Punch, which I think they are because this is going to be an Ice Punch, it's going to be resisted, so I'm not sure why they haven't swapped out, but again, just goes to show that Seaking might be destroying their backline as well. So we're going to go ahead and stay in this and just go straight for drill runs. I don't expect them to be shielding at all, so I just want to do as much chip damage as I can because this helps out for late game. If they decide to swap out right now, I have Gyarados' Dragon Tails to finish this thing off. They decide to go for another Ice Punch, which is fine by me, but I'm going to go ahead and just commit to the farm down right here. and I will shield. I'm reading that, you know, this might be Scald. It might be enough to take me out, but they actually just go for another Ice Punch. That's okay. I think the shield is worth it considering how much energy I have, because I should be getting the shields back based on whatever comes in, considering they didn't swap out. Now, we do see a Nidoqueen come in. A prime example of what could potentially be in the back and why Seeking Safe Swap is so deadly. So Icy Wind right here is going to be getting a shield. It does do super effective damage as well. And we're going to save the energy there and swap back into Alolan Sandslash. I don't think they have a good answer for it in the back, plus saving that energy and potential sack swap late game is going to be nice. Now, we have to be careful of Earth Power right here, right? It's going to do so much damage, but if I can get a shield from the opponent with this Ice Punch, or they let it go, and plus, I think this is a bit quick, so I'm just going to let this go. Even if it is an Earth Power, Gyarados can come back in and farm down, but it's just going to be another Poison Fang, which is beautiful. That means I can fully farm down with our Powder Snows, and the final Pokemon is going to be Obstagoon. So Obstagoon would have been a decent check to the Seeking there. Obviously, it's a neutral matchup, and a head-on energy Icy Winds would have been very nice. But again, they didn't have a hard answer for Seeking. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Seeking right here and go for Icy Wind. I think I can win CMP tie, so we're going to go ahead and throw that. This is going to be debuffing the Obstagoon, and then we have Gyarados with Dragon Tail and a shield. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. So they do throw the Night Slash. It's fine by me. I'll let this go. I obviously don't want them to farm me down for more energy. And then we bring in the Gyarados right here and close this game out very nicely. So good game to my opponent, but again, Seeking Safe Swap is putting so many people in trouble, specifically when you have a similar lead that has the same coverages, because their typings are a bit more diverse. So like Ice and Steel versus Water, they're weak to different things, but they cover the same stuff. When you lose lead, it puts people in a pickle. All right, moving into this next battle, we have Sandslash on the lead versus Mandibuzz. A very positive matchup again, so we're probably going to see them swap out at some point, but they decide to stay in, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and overload a bit on energy, and they do swap into a Diggersby right here. So we're going to go ahead and just throw one Ice Punch, and then I'm going to look to go into that Gyarados. This Ice Punch does a lot of super effective damage. Actually, I decided to go for two Ice Punch, or build back up to Ice Punch, then swap. That way I have energy in the back. Now again, we have to be careful about Hyper Beam, but I feel like risking biscuits today, so we're going to go ahead and let it go. And it was an Earthquake. That doesn't do too much damage, which is beautiful. So this tells me they definitely have Fire Punch and Earthquake, so I can easily farm down. And I think they closed the app on their phone, considering Diggersby just left. But we're going to go ahead and just throw the Crunch. Frostlass coming in obviously will take super effective damage from this. But I think they do decide to shield, so they're still there. And the defense dropped, which is beautiful. So that defense drop from Crunches now is absolutely deadly. I can't wait to use Gyarados in other leagues as well. But Aqua Tail here is going to be getting a shield. We're going to be able to get to another Aqua Tail, and this is going to be able to actually take out the Frostlass. So we're going to go ahead and shield the Avalanche, just because I want to see how much damage a defense drop Shadow Aqua Tail does to a Frostlass right here for neutral damage. Mind you, it's at about 50% HP. And it takes it out. That is absolutely deadly. Mandibuzz comes back in, so we're going to go ahead and swap back into the Sandslash, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. I think my opponent did lag there, but it ultimately wouldn't have mattered. You guys saw that if they had Earthquake, they also had Fire Punch, and they wouldn't be. I was just farm them down anyways. All right, so we got Castform on the lead. This is not a good matchup for us. We're going to go ahead and swap into the Seeking right here. Again, putting our opponent into a predicament. They decide to bring in Ferrothorn, which is actually very nice considering that we have Gyarados in the back, and that Dragon Tail Aqua Tail is going to be doing nothing. So at least we can hit for neutral damage with Icy Winds. Now, when you're in this matchup right here, a lot of people will want to keep the Seeking alive, right? Try to flip this mid-game matchup. So I'm expecting them to throw a Mirror Shot first. So I'm going to go ahead and no shield, considering I got two debuffs right there. I think it's going to be a Mirror Shot, and it is, which is absolutely beautiful. This puts them so far behind, because I'm constantly doing neutral damage with Poison Jabs and Icy Wind, that I will shield this next charge move, and it is going to be a Power Whip. And hopefully I can get to this the Icy Wind in time. This might take out the Ferrothorn, but I imagine they're going to go ahead and shield to try to maintain positive matchup right here. So we do get the Icy Wind. We do get a shield, which is fine by me. But in this situation, I can't give up any other shields, right? Rainy Cast Form with Thunder can one-shot Gyarados, and it can take out Alolan Sandslash with Weather Ball, so we have to come back in with Alolan Sandslash right now and farm down with Powder Snow. Now, we're going to see that Rainy Cast Form come back in, and we're going to go ahead and go for a Bulldoze. And I'm also hoping that they decide to throw their Weather Ball. That way I can go into the Gyarados right away, because I know they wouldn't be able to get to a Thunder in time, especially after we land the Bulldoze right there for some nice neutral damage. So we'll let this go through. We're going to swap right away into the Shadow Gyarados and start ripping with these Dragon Tails, and they decide to swap into the Frostlass. And again, you guys have seen this multiple times now. Gyarados absolutely wrecks Frostlass with Dragon Tail and Aqua Tail right here. It just does so much damage. This should be getting the shield, which it does, and then we'll be able to get to another one in time and take it out. And that is going to be a good game. Very well played. Shadow Gyarados is a threat, a force to be reckoned with, and we'll just be able to rip apart this cast form, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. So this team did incredibly well for me. Super strong, and I think very spicy. Alright, so in the final battle here, we have Gyarados on the lead, which is a nice matchup for us, and they swap into a Rapidash, and I had to get out of there right away. You guys know how much damage those Incinerates are going to do. Plus, Flame Charge right here, I'm going to have to shield. It is resisted, but my goodness, look at how much damage the Incinerates did to me. I have to maintain positive switch advantage right now. So we're going to go ahead and throw an Aqua Tail, hoping to get a shield from our opponent. If they let it go, so be it. We do take out the Rapidash, which is great. We're going to see the Gyarados come back in, and we're going to go ahead and go for another Aqua Tail. This should be getting a shield from them, because this is going to do quite a bit of neutral damage. So we do get the shield. They can't farm us down, so they're going to have to throw energy. I imagine this is going to be maybe Cross Poison right here. No, they decide to go for Lunge, which is not enough to take us out. So we get one more Dragon Tail in, which is nice. But we can come back into a 1-1 shield, and we resist everything right here. Now, they do decide to swap into Machamp. So this Ice Punch here is actually going to be very nice chip damage that we're going to need. We swap straight into the Sea King, and Poison Jabs plus Icy Wind should be enough to take this. We're going to have to shield the Cross Chop, just because of the raw neutral damage it can do. And as long as I keep Alolan Sandslash at full health, I can take out the Gyarados because of our typings. We're going to resist everything. So we just go ahead and throw the Icy Wind to force their hand. We do get a shield, which is fine. Poison Jab should be enough to take it out, but they do get to a Cross Chop in time, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take us out because of the debuff from Icy Wind. So yeah, definitely not enough. The Gyarados is going to come back in and farm us down, but we do get to the Icy Wind, so they have to throw, and they win the CMP tie right there. So this is perfectly fine with me. They're basically out of energy. We have a full health, no shield to no shield, so this is going to be a good game. Very well played. Spicy team to my opponent as well right there. That Rapidash, thankfully I got out of there, because if one Incinerate landed on my Alolan Sandslash, I imagine that would have been 50% of my HP. So Ice Punch is going to be finishing this game off, and this team went on an absolute tear for me today. Super fun to play, super spicy, but it is a lot of legacy moves that I invested in over the past couple years since Go Battle League has come out. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.